Want the reward? Do the damn work. Challenge yourself. Inspire change. Choice, not luck. Hey everybody, Todd Crandall, the original sober triathlete, bringing you another awesome Racing for Recovery podcast. And I have Bradlee on the show today.
Thank
Why
you.
the two E's after your name in the spelling?
I don't really know. My dad's middle name is Lee. My grandma wanted Brad, so they combined it. That's all I know about that.
Okay. As you and I have both discussed prior to starting this today, I don't really plan these things. You haven't really thought it out. We just wing it.
Yes.
Let's start with this. Why are you wearing the Racing for Recovery 5K shirt?
I've been doing the 5K since 2022, and that's actually a part of my growth. My first 5K with you guys, I did it in 45 minutes and 36 seconds. Second one I did with you guys, I did it in 34 minutes and 48 seconds. And then this year that I did with this one was 31.32. So it's just been...
Are you already planning for next year's time?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yes, 27 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that important to you?
It's just achieving something. I did going through life and everything and messing up a lot and actually achieving something. It gives me a rush to keep on going stronger and better and just be the best version of myself. So each time, even if I beat it 45 seconds more, it's 47 seconds better than last year.
Okay, let's start talking about your journey now. You've been with us over 2 years.
Yes.
2 years or over 2 years of uninterrupted sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pick it up right when you came into Racing for Recovery. What was life like for you the day you came in here?
I did not have no love for myself or respect for myself. I knew I had to change my ways because it just ended me in and out of prison and just hurting people around me and stuff like that. I was done with it. Once I did my time and everything, I knew that I had to do something or I would perish out on the streets. So I took a step and moved away from the city that I was born in.
Which was where?
Georgia.
Okay.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
That might be where I was born, but that's not what I call home. This is home. When I first walked through you guys' door, it was like a whole different energy. People actually helped out, and I discovered a whole different part of myself. I came over here not knowing how to read or write. You guys gave me the skills. In less than 2 years, I'm now reading, writing, and going for my GED on the 14th of this month, going GED classes so I can fulfill those needs.
That's awesome. You've already given me a ton of stuff I could start with, but why did you choose Racing for Recovery?
I chose racing because one of my cousins were coming up here, and I was locked up. He didn't make it. I came up here because I heard good stuff about this. We don't have places like this in Georgia. We have places that will put you on medicine and kick you out in 30 days. But once you're addicted to that, you're going to harsh drugs. I had to get out of that town and start a new life for myself. And this just spoke to me. I mean, this is a whole different feeling.
So you learn about us, you're having that concept before you came here, actually. Mm-hmm. You described when you came in here, the energy's different. I hear that all the time. Were there some, because I know there were, can you talk about for yourself some pivotal moments for you where you may have thought about, I can't do this, or some difficult emotional things you were going through and how you overcame them?
Yes. I was actually in class, and I'm not used to asking people for anything. Amanda was doing class, and she put a piece of paper in front of me, and I had my bags packed, and I bought a ticket to California. For some reason, my mouth didn't stay shut that day. I told her, look, you guys keep on putting a piece of paper in front of me. I don't know how to read this. I don't know how to write. And she just stared at me and was like, why didn't you say nothing? And I was like, because people don't care. And she's like, well, I'm not a mind reader, but if you need help, we can help you. And you guys did. So from that day point on and everything, every time I get something in my head that I can't do it, I overcome it, because that's like hearing people saying in my head, oh, you would never be somebody or anything like that. That gives me a dedication to even do it stronger.
That's heavy, buddy, hearing you describe that. Were you surprised that you spoke that day? Like, what do you attribute that to?
It was just, I don't know. It just came out. It was like, enough is enough. You need to, if you want to do this thing, you're going to do it right, and you need to say something.
Do you think you had trust in us at that point? Because this was early on.
Yeah,
when
this was
happened.
early on. It must have been trust, because if you don't trust somebody, you're not going to say nothing. It's just, I knew that I was a good person and a good-hearted person, and I needed to do what was right. And I was dropping out of school when I was 13, and I needed it. I needed to speak that day. And I guess it was my mind telling me, and I spoke up.
Are you, and whatever your answer is fine. I don't really know if I talk to people like this on this, but it's relevant. Like, are you a godly person? Are you a higher being, spiritual? What?
No, I believe in God.
Yeah.
I'm spiritual and everything. I believe I get my spiritual awakening when I'm outside, running, going to parks. I don't necessarily go into all of that. What people believe, I don't knock it down.
Yep.
I think God is always with me in heart and by me.
Do you think he was there that day you spoke?
I wouldn't be here if God didn't want me to succeed in what I came here for.
I mean, listening to you, I hear that as one of those, people can call whatever they want, an awakening, a realization, a God, Buddha, Eddie Van Halen, it doesn't matter, but that's what I hear in that story right there. It's powerful.
Yeah. I've been through a lot of stuff. Everybody's been through a lot of their own journey in life.
Yeah.
And now I had to wake up from that dream and overcome a lot of stuff. But I learned a lot about myself through that, and that's what I want to do. That's why I'm going for my GD, because I want to help people out that went through the same tragedies as me, the same traumas, and just help people out.
So what was it like after you have the courage to speak? Mm-hmm. Amanda, as I know she does, offers, and whatever Racing for Recovery did to help you along that. Talk about what that felt like. Did you start to feel you were of value for the first time and heard?
Most definitely, but also you get you get those doubts in your head that you can't do this, but the stuff that I've been through in my life, why not give it a chance? Why not give this a chance? And that's why I did. I gave myself a chance for once, and I sticked with it. And look at me now, sober.
Yeah.
Don't even think about using at all, and now I lost over 89 pounds, and that's what dedication of change and getting better.
Let's talk, and you can say whatever you want on this. How has trauma, and you can talk about what trauma was or whatever, but how has your life up prior to coming here with respect to trauma, how has that impacted you?
Trauma was a key thing in my life. Growing up in a family of narcissists and never being as good as they wanted, and only thing I wanted to do is have the love. But trauma was it. There's still a lot of trauma back there that I'm still learning. But the key thing is every time I learn about the trauma that hit me in the face or I overcome, it just makes me 10 times stronger to keep on going, to succeed in what I'm here to do.
What did you need when you were a younger kid going through some of this stuff? What did you need that you didn't get?
I just needed someone to be there.
Is that what being a part of Racing for Recovery has really shown you, that there is stability here?
Yes, stability, and like you guys give people like I don't know like how to say it, like you guys give people like a chance. You guys don't board somebody up and tell them, hey, you got to do this. No, it's your choice to do it. And that's what I love about this, because it gave me the knowledge of, okay, well, I can go to the gas station and buy me a beer, but what is that going to get me? It's not going to get me nowhere. So I'm going to follow these steps, and it's not going to hurt anything, because all my life I was doing this, and it just ended me back in the same thing, Insanity always played up. Well, I got out of jail, I'm going to do it this way. End up back in jail. Well, I gave this a chance, and it's the best thing I did in my life. Yes, I overcame a lot of trauma, and yes, I went through a lot of stuff in my life. But I would go through it all over again to make it back to this point, so I can work on myself again. This place opened up my eyes to a whole different world.
Do you think this person that is speaking now has always been in you?
Probably, yes. This person was locked away in a cage. I never had a voice. Even thinking about talking in front of people with lights like this or a mic like this, no. When I first got here, I was never thought of this.
Yeah. Brings me to this that I knew I was going to ask you at some point, so here it is. Like, you came up to me, I think it was Friday, out of nowhere, and just said, hey, I'm ready to do that podcast.
Yes.
What? I look at that as another spiritual thing, but what was that made you do that?
I remember talking about this with you, what was it, last year, and I wasn't ready. This year, I opened a couple of more boxes, and I overcame those. I'm tired of running, tired of keeping my mouth shut. It's time to tell my story, and it's time to be stronger than I was last year and yesterday. Today, I have a voice, and I'm gonna speak.
Yeah, you are. I love it. And you've actually taught me, this is something I've been thinking about for a while. I used to say I'd have people come on after a year, and it it was good. It's a good starting point, but I
Yes.
can see now it needs to be longer.
Coming into this thing, I sat back and shut my mouth a lot and just heard people talk. It was hard for me to talk until I gathered up the tools that you have over here and formed them into my own tools. And I decided to talk, and it felt good. I overcame a lot, so what I speak on could help somebody else down the road. That's what I'm going to do.
So I want to know more of that. Like, talk somebody who's in Atlanta that's watching you right now.
Yes.
And they're seeing you successful. They knew who you were before. What is it that we're doing here that you want to showcase to somebody who's watching you that they can get it for themselves? What can they expect?
Expect everything you want. Like, if you want to succeed in life and everything, get away from the drugs and everything, if I can do it, you can too. I grew up in the rough part of Atlanta. If I can do it, I know anybody can do this. No education and a record that's a book. And I'm happy today. I'm happy, sober. You know, I used to talk to a bunch of people, a sober life is boring life. No, it's not. It's not. Each and every day you learn about yourself is not boring. Each and every day you're working on yourself to be stronger is not boring. A boring life is sitting in bed waiting for your drug dealer to come and give you your fix. That's boring. That's a boring life.
What does it take to have a mindset of saying sobriety's not boring? For example, like, what did you have to learn here that allowed you to think and live differently? Was it a specific group, something from one of our books, a concept?
It was when I first got in here, I knew I needed to keep my mind kind of like outside. I couldn't stay in my mind too long. It was a dangerous spot for me. So, initial step is when I got here, I went into the kitchen. Dean. Yeah. I asked questions. As many questions as possible, so I can know how to do this thing, especially with people that have 5 years, 7 years, and stuff like that. I had to ask questions and open the realization, okay, well, now it's time to get deep in my mind and learn about my traumas and work on them. Getting clean was easy. Working on trauma, hard. And that is going to be the hardest part. But if you can overcome that, you'll overcome anything in this world. You put your mind to anything in this world, you are going to succeed in it.
We have a saying, well, we have quite a few sayings here, but one of our major concepts is allowing trauma to be one of your biggest assets.
Yes.
How have you done that?
Oh, man. It gives me a rush. Every single time a trauma tense comes up or anything like that, it kind of like makes me laugh because now that's another battle coming, and I'm hitting it on head first. No more running, head first. I'm going straight to it, and I'm succeeding at it because I'm going straight to it. I'm sitting down with it. I'm gonna learn about you. You're gonna learn about me, and until I get over this, and then I'm going to the next state. Succeeding in each and every single thing is making me 10 times happier with myself and focus to my next goals. When I first got here, I had a goal set book, succeeded at those. Well, people need to know once you succeed at those, it's not over. You need to make more goals, more goals, more goals. And that's what I'm doing.
You mentioned being in the kitchen a lot.
Yes.
And what has that done for you? Like the giving back or what you've learned, a skill in there. What's that? How's that helped you?
Working with Chef Dean is really cool. He's got a lot of good insights. I love working for food, like with food and cooking for other people. It's a whole different feeling. You know, a lot of people say, like cooking with your heart and stuff. No, it's soul cooking. You know, you cook with your soul. I put my soul into everything. It's an old saying, you know, your brain doesn't have a heart and your heart doesn't have a brain. Well, I use my soul into everything I do. When I'm speaking right now, I'm using my soul, not my heart, my mind. I'm not writing stuff down. This is speaking from my soul. This is the experience that I went through in life to come out and talk to help somebody out.
Do you want to, work in our kitchen at some point? Like, what are your plans?
I want to do like a treatment with cooking, because a lot of people that go into situations and stuff, I think cooking is like it's another like aspect of it. It's kind of like meditation to me. I go in there, I can have the worst day ever. I have the gym in the kitchen. I go in that kitchen, all gone. I go in the gym, all gone. I got my support, but I also have my backup support because say I can't go in the kitchen or work out. I can always read now. I can always learn. I have a process of learning how to spell one word or learn what one word means now. You just have to have fallback plans on the situations. You can't just be like, I'm coming in this thing. Yeah, I'm going to that gym every day. Yeah, what are you doing about your mental state? I mean, why when you break your arm or break your leg, what are you going to do now? You're going to be in your head. You have to have fallback plans.
I love talking to you. So you mentioned the gym and you're talking about the kitchen. How are those two things that we focus on in here, how have they helped you physically, spiritually, intellectually?
I think I told you about this. When I run, that's when I kind of go through my head of what I overcame and everything like that, and just rewind it and see what I can get from it. And then lifting weights and stuff like that, it deals with a lot of anger and frustration at myself. Like flipping the tires and everything, I work on everything when I do those. It's just a whole input of life and happiness. It's a whole experience when you can go into your head and pinpoint on what to focus about. Because when you go and running and you're focused about this, an hour later, you're like, oh, that was an hour run? That's it? Okay, well, that's not too bad.
So I hear you saying that through physical exercise and eating the way Racing for Recovery endorses it with plants,
Yes.
that it's helping you to heal emotionally,
Yes.
to utilize your intellect more effectively, where you're having that peace and self-love that you've described several times.
100%. Like, coming in here 289 pounds and eating nothing but junk food, candy, chips, and stuff like that, it's not good for you. Cancer runs in my family, and if I'm going to change myself, I got to change everything. I got to change how I eat, what I need to do, change everything. And that's what I did is I didn't change. I just reopened my personality that was locked up inside of me, but I changed my strength of being a will provider to my body.
I want to talk about your grandma was important in your life, correct?
Yes.
You want to talk about her for a bit.
Yeah, my grandma, she always knew that I was doing the wrong thing with my life, and she wasn't afraid to say it. She always knew that I could do good things with how I was, but I didn't listen to it. I always see it as, a lot of people say, if you can go back in your past, what would you change? And I'm sorry to say it, absolutely nothing. I had to go through all that to become the person. Nobody knows but me and God the torture and the agony that I went through to become this kind-hearted person today.
How are you honoring her care for you?
I'm going all the way. I'm taking care of myself, my traumas and everything head first, and I'm doing the right thing. I'm going for what I want instead of what other people want.
So what does the future have in store for you?
My future, get my GED and go to college and, do something that involves helping people out with the same trauma as me. And, I want to, key thing is, once I do that, I want to open a food truck for racing for recovery.
Yeah.
And open one from here to California.
Yeah.
So.
Are you visualizing that?
I already visualized it.
Man. It's so cool. Do you have any questions for me? I ask that every time I'm talking to somebody. Is there anything you want to ask?
What is the key sets on when you're on the bike? What is your set goal when you're on the bike? I know riding that bike is one of the hardest things. That and swimming to me would be like.
The only thing I'm thinking about when I'm on the bike during an Ironman is I can't wait to get off of this thing, which is not the best mindset to have because that makes the ride harder. So I've learned, through watching you guys succeed and doing a lot of this stuff for a number of years, it's like the power of our mindset is going to dictate the results. So I used to feel like that. Now, wherever I'm fortunate enough to be riding in, what beautiful country or whatever, I really start to embrace the nature and the beauty that's around me.
Yes.
It gives me an opportunity to think about you guys in here, maybe somebody that's passed or somebody that's doing well and what other business things can we do. So it's a time to really think and embrace the power of a healthy body, the power of the mind, like you were talking about. I totally understand that, but biking is it's one of those things that I'm like, I have to do it to get to the run, which I enjoy, but it's unfortunate that it's the longest part of an Ironman. But again, I'm trying to take that and use it in a productive manner.
So I remember talking with you about your runs. That's really a key thing of how you think about your business, how goals are and everything like that. I really want to talk about the swimming part, because swimming in the water, motionless and everything, do you ever get like flashbacks of trauma or anything in there? Because water is deep, is dark, you can't see anything, and you're just going.
The best thing that was told to me about remaining calm, or even it's relative to people that have anxiety.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, but again, we're talking about the mindset, right? So as soon as I'm hearing myself say anxiety, that can be easily switched into excitement.
Okay.
And right there, it's a two different mindsets, right? Mark Allen, who is the man in triathlon, when he was coaching me a couple years ago and we were talking about this, because I was asking him basically what you're asking me, and all he said to me was, the ocean is your friend. The ocean is your friend. And then he would reinforce, you can't drown out there. You can think about drowning and you can panic about drowning, but the likelihood of you drowning is basically non-existent. And again, changing our mindset and how we view that, embracing the beauty of the ocean, looking at the tropical fish when you're swimming in Hawaii, it's totally different than, oh my God, it's 50 feet deep here. And it's how you perceive things. And that's carried over into how we look at trauma, right? Yes, it's hard. So swimming 2.4 miles in the ocean, but what are the benefits of doing that? I deal with trauma. I get to heal from it. It's leading me to have a vision of having a food truck and working at Racing for Recovery. It's the same thing. That's why the Ironman stuff, if people really looked at what it is for them and applied that mindset as you are, you're going to get something out of it, as you have.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And you know why I asked that question?
No.
Literally, you just answered. If you're going to let a speculation of yourself, you're stupid, you're worthless, you're never going to get anywhere. Everybody on this planet is worth something. Everybody is a leader. Stop being a follower and be a leader of your own path. Succeed in what you want in life. Nobody in this world deserves bad, nothing but good. And if you can overcome the speculations that you're telling yourself that you're a bad person, you're this and that, you're never going to get anywhere in life.
Well, I'm going to turn, now you're getting a little deep here. When I first told my dad that I had signed up for my first Ironman, his response was, you don't even know how to swim. Now, he wasn't saying that to be negative. No. He was just stating a fact. Yeah. And it was true. I didn't know how to swim. But if we let things like that affect us, what would have happened if I never swam? We wouldn't be having this conversation today.
Oh.
And that's the same point that you've done in your success here.
Exactly. The key things is what we went through in life brought us here. Yep. What happened in your past and everything brought you to this and gave you the dedication to make this thing happen. And what I went through in my life is going to make what I want come true.
A food truck.
Food truck. And, you never know, something bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. What else do you want to say to people that are watching this right now?
Overcome the tragedies in your head, and if I can do it, you can do it.
Dude, I've enjoyed talking to you. I think I'll say this, for those that are watching, the way you've spoken today is a prime example of what my intentions were with this. Notice we did not talk about how much or whatever drugs or alcohol you were drinking or doing. It has nothing to do with this.
No.
It's overcoming the hurt and having the drive to do whatever you need to do to succeed. That's what people can expect coming here. I'm proud of you, dude.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Until next time, America. Isn't that from a show somewhere? Or globally? Share Bradlee's story, please. Share our podcast. And if you or a loved one are struggling with self-harm, contact Racing for Recovery so you can get what he has. See you soon.